What's going on, everybody? Rob here, Trev2323, TREV2323. It's about a week later since I set this tank up. I really haven't had time with trying to get back at it. What I'm doing right now is making the top for this. You know, the top for these 125s, you get them in sections like this. Bam, 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 these folding sections right here. But it comes out to like 75 or 100 bucks. So what I bought is this corrugated fiberglass right here. That's on top of it, and this is the clear. So I do got a 16-foot strip light to run along the rafter there and to run back over there, or I could put a light like this over the top of it also and it'll shine through. I told you I'm going to start filling the little by little with gravel, so that's 25 more pounds of gravel. But right now I'm cutting this. Actually, I'm cutting this with a jigsaw, and you know, the corrugated fiberglass runs long ways. And they're 2-foot sections by 10-foot section, I believe it was what I bought. It was 13 bucks. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting it so it goes this way because it's more sturdy this way. You know, I just had it laying across the top so the fish wouldn't fall out. Now this one right here, I actually had to measure the end of it to make sure I cut out for the filter. So I did measure that, and then you see I drilled the hole right here, and I drilled the hole right here, so I can put the jigsaw straight in here and cut straight across right there. So what I'm going to do though is to feed them, I'm actually going to put it on one of the sides. See, because this is more sturdier, you can kind of press on this, because this right here, it's only holding on by the corners right there, and there's nothing kind of holding on right here. So I'm not going to make this the food place to feed them right here, because there's nothing to press on as opposed to right here. So there's the koi that are in there, and still I only got one under gravel that's not completely covered yet. I bought a 55 under gravel for that one, and you see my pacu, my large pacu, all he has is one under gravel and a Marineland 350 or 450, whichever that one is. But I do my water changes because I got a python. And look at this pop bottle filter. See the pop bottle filter? See how crystal clear that water is? Look at the video how to make a pop bottle filter. That's crystal clear, and that's what the crayfish are in for right now. And here we go with the puffers. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out the thing. Believe it or not, the distance from here to here on one side, you have to measure each one, because it's 17 1/8, and closer to the middle is 17 3/8. Now the second 2-foot plate is 17 3/8. So I got to measure here because I know this is 17 3/8, but I don't know what this side is over here. Now here's the rest of the sheet I've already cutting. I didn't start the video because I had no juice in my battery. But I got a really fine blade on a jigsaw, and my wife has been helping me hold it. But you see the sheath run 10 feet this way. But if you put it, you could just actually cut it to fit on the fish tank this way, but it's not as sturdy. It's sturdier if you cut them in small sections and run it this way. It's a lot more sturdy. So the extra little bit of this I have, I'm going to make where you could actually feed the fish, where you could just slide it back and forth and feed the fish. So I'm going to go ahead and measure the other one and cut this right here. Now you got to remember which way this is going to face on the tank. This is going to be the outside corner of the tank, because this side is going to be 17 1/8. The outside corners were 17 1/8, and the inside of the tank was 17 3/8. So I'm going to line this off by that little bit, and that's how I'm going to cut it. And I have this little piece here where I actually use this to, what it's going to do is just sit on top of a little piece I cut out. So you move it back to feed the fish and move it back. So it doesn't need to be this length. All it needs is to be about this big, but you just move it back to feed the fish. But I'm going to do it as big as my honey wants, because she's really close with her fish, where she might want a bigger piece so she could actually pet her fish. Okay, there's the corrugated top right there for the tank. And actually you see I had a little bit extra on the end that's on this side, so it doesn't matter. And what I wound up doing was I put this end piece on first, then this end piece on, and then actually see I overlapped it right here, and I overlapped it right there to give this some more support. Now this right here is given enough room so the water could actually flow and create the oxygen. When it bubbles underneath there, it aerates the water. So you do want to have it enough room where it's going to aerate the water. You don't want it building up on this right here, because it'll put too much weight here and bring that down. So right now we're going to go ahead and make so she can feed the fish right here. So I got to get a Sharpie marker and drill out whatever square that I'm going to cut out, and then I'm going to make the other piece for a little bit bigger. That's going to go right there so it covers the whole area. Okay, since this is 6 feet across and there was 8 to 10 feet of board, I know I do have extra, so I'm going to put a decent sized square right in here so my honey can feed the fish. I kind of want it a little bit centered. You know what, to tell you the truth, you don't want it too big because you don't want this to lose its rigidness. So I'm probably going to do right here and then right here. And then I'll cut it out and show you how it's going to be done. But to cut this board, you got to pre-drill holes, 4 holes to get your blade in there. My camera's about to die. You got to drill the holes to get the blade in there. And there you have it, Bob's your uncle. I actually even put a little screw right there. You see it? To open and close it. See, open it and close it right there. Woohoo! Open and close it. Open and close it. So, like I said, that sheet right there was $13.65 for that sheet right there. Another thing I wound up doing is I wound up putting the sheet underneath these other ones, because when I had it on top, it seemed like it dipped in the center. But when I put the other ones on top of the middle sheet, it popped up more and gave me more clearance right there. So that's what I like. Now, this sheet right here, it was a fiberglass corrugated sheet. It was 2 feet by 8 or 10 feet. And these tanks are 6 feet, but you do got to measure, like I said, at the ends of them right here was 7 1/8, and then towards the middle was 7 3/8. I got a little overlap at the end. You could cut that back. But this right here was $13.65 for this tank top right here. And these glass ones right here, you're going to be looking at about 70 to $100 for them for a 125 gallon tank. Now this tank right here actually has a middle bar. See, it's got a middle piece right there. And this tank right here, there's no middle bar in it at all. There's no middle piece in this tank right here. This is just held on by one solid piece right there. So that's maybe why it bows out a little bit. But let me see what else I could tell you. This one right here, this guy right here is the sole survivor. Not sole survivor, but he's the only one in this 125. You see, he beats up the whole tank. He's trying to beat me up too. Look at, he gets mad at me. He loves my wife. That guy loves my wife, but he broke the filter off too. You see the filter? That's hanging off the wall. Anything I put in there, he kills. Anything I put in there, he does not eat. He just kills it. So that's why these are over here. Then too, that tank right there is like at 70, about 80 degrees. This tank right here, and this tank right here has 0 filter. Now to tell you the truth, within these, I got 2 125s right here, 2 125s, and with these both 125s, I have maybe about $250, $300 in both of them. That's for both, not for like each. That's for both tanks. That right there is a regular shop light, and that's, you see I got all my fish stuff on top of it. If I clean that off and go with it, that'll be a lot brighter. But this one right here, I bought a 16-foot LED to go across the top of both tanks to get more light in both of the tanks. But either way, that's how you make the top light. If you want, look at the video how I made the stand for that one right there. And also, I do got a 55-gallon underfilter and its own pump and everything going into that one. Right now, I'm running off a Whisper 150 and like a Petco 10-gallon filter. And I got that, and that all hooked on there. That's one reason why I love these bio wheels, because look at that oxygenation in the water. See the water right there? The bio wheels do help to oxygenate the water. Making him mad. He loves my wife, not me so much. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe. I want that, at least one play button, at least a 10,000 subscriber play button. Help me out there.